one of the most fluid, smooth individuals that I have ever seen grace a wrestling ring. The other night, Mick Foley called him a ring general. Dadgummit, it is time to induct gorgeous Gary Young.
Yeah.
Got a promo.
Okay.
Where's the mic? You know, I've been up here hollering all night long. I've hollered for 32 years and I like it. So I don't give a that I got a mic or not. You talk about Gary Young and
he's good at this. Hand one in.
I want to do it. I don't know a lot about Gary Young, but I know a little bit about Gary Young, and I got this one story that I tell about him. Every time his name is brought up, I tell this story, whether he's there or not there. It don't matter. It don't matter because it was one of the most horrifying days and nights of my life ever, and I mean ever. And like they said about Dusty a while ago, that he's been around the world. I've been around the world 3 times. I was going to go again, and they stopped me and said I couldn't do it, so I stayed home. Me and Gary Young is coming out of some, I don't know where, but we're New Orleans? Yeah. But we got to go across these dadgum bridges, and it ain't nothing but water. And it's like this the whole dang way. But Gary says, hey, Bart, I know this place right over here. We ain't even left New Orleans yet. It's in New Orleans where you walk in this thing, it's like this, but everywhere up there on them walls is little snow cone machine looking things. And they're like 28 or 30 of them, and you just point and they give you a cup about this dead go. And am I exaggerating? It's like a gallon, and it's like 100 and 200 proof rum.
It's a daiquiri hut.
And now we're in Gary's Trans Am, black with a gold bird on the front of it. Now I'm down. We all drive trucks. I've seen it on TV, but I ain't never. And you got to back to get in it. You got to back in, and turn, and then you're like laying on the pavement. And I can feel this damn, as we start sipping on them, a little bit faster, sip, a little bit faster, Right or wrong, Gary Young? I'm kind of looking over there at the speed on it. I say, hey, Gary, you think you go, no, this ain't fast. And you feel that dead Trans Am just start getting lower and lower, and you're laying there and you're looking lower and lower. And I said, pretty soon we're going to be on concrete, brother. It's going to be throwing sparks down the back. Fastest I've ever been. And I've rode with a lot of guys. Gary Young tops them all in my list. And he can drive and drink, brother. You remember the hole in the wall gang. I got a picture. I think last year, either at the shootout or over here. I said, do you remember the manager of the hole in the wall? What was his name? But there's like 5 or 6 of us. I think Mike Davis is in there. God bless his soul. One of my bestest friends. You try to think about things about a guy, and you come up and you want to tell a story. Well, I love Gary Young all of my heart, and I am more proud. I've seen I got this story in my head, and it's Dusty Rhodes' big show in Dallas. Well, Gary Young is in the main event across town, and at the rodeo arena. You're wrestling in a main event, Eric Embry. Right or wrong? It's stuck. Brother, it's stuck. Because that same night, the WWE or WCW was in the big building downtown Dallas. and actually did more money, not money, more people than they did, people-wise. Y'all sold the damn thing out. I don't know who was on the underneath card. I know I wasn't there. and Long Dong, you know. It stuck in Dusty Rhodes' head. How could you and Eric Embry outdraw them, outdo them in any damn thing? And you did. And my hat's off to you. Come on up here and get it. You got to come up here and talk, bro.
First of all, I'd like to thank Bart for the kind words. You got a few facts wrong. Bart, it was an IROC 280Z. We did 142 miles an hour across the 12-mile bridge, and yeah, you were white-knuckled the whole way. If I'm not so sure, you might have turned gray that day, too. It's just a real honor. Thank you, David, for bringing all the guys together. It's an honor to be here. I couldn't be here without thanking some really important people in my life. When I was real young, trying to get in the business, Stan Hansen. No, I'm just joking. Actually, what I like to say about that is it's amazing how you can be in this business for as long as you are. Stan, I know, was I don't know what year he broke in, but I started in 1977. And in 20 years I was in the sport, we never ever ended up in the same territory. We really don't know each other than by the names we heard and everybody talking. But I know he was a great ring tactician, and I learned from him and watching his tapes. Just like I did when I first started in, brief synopsis. The reason I feel like I had one of the greatest opportunities in this sport was my first territory was the Amarillo territory in 1977. My first match was against Pat O'Connor, ex-world champion. A deja vu moment, Matt Rivera, who's here right now. Pat O'Connor, the first day I wrestled him, not only did I wrestle on TV and he tied me up like a pretzel because I was 17 years old green, then I had to drive him to Pueblo, Colorado. For some reason, that whole trip, Pueblo, Colorado, Albuquerque, New Mexico, back to Amarillo, it cost me like $400. And this is 1977. I didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to pay for Pat O'Connor's meal. I didn't realize that I was paying for all the gas, and he got free trans because he was a world champ. This is all the stuff he's telling me my first day in the business. So the ribs kind of go around. I learned really at a very young age how to joke around and have fun in the dressing room and with the guys. The most important thing I was after working with guys like Pat O'Connor, Ricky Romero, Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Ted DiBiase was there, and this Sweet Hansen, Rip Hawk. That was my first territory. And if you couldn't get good with those guys, you just couldn't get good. First thing they said was, "Shut up, kid, and listen. Don't say a word. Don't say a word." And I didn't. I went around and I listened and listened and listened. They always taught me, so when you learn how to be good enough, then you need to start teaching everybody else. And I hope that that's the one thing I did in my career was I taught a lot of young guys. I do remember sitting in the sportatorium when Chris Germany and Ray Evans, they all come in there and they're sitting in there, and when they walked in and these eyes are this big and they're like, oh my God, walk in the dressing room, you can't sit in here. They went to the other room, and then after a while, then they were sitting in the same room, and we sat there for hours and hours. Not only did I put them through some kind of hell, as far as ribs, I mean, they'd come back to the ring and there'd be like 17 locks on a bag. There's been known to have icy hot put in their drawers a couple of times. I've been accused of a lot of things that I never actually did, but I was rumored to have done. So I never really denied them, but I never really accepted them either. The most important part I'd like to say thank you to right now is my wife, 29 years. Wow. Tonight I got another daughter in Kansas City who can't be here with a grandson, and without them as my support in this business would have never been anything like this became today. And I really appreciate all you guys for all you've given me over the years. I see Connie over there standing up. She's got a big smile on her face. We go back years and years with Terry and stuff, and the Freebirds, and traveling the roads. And there's just so many fond memories. Rick Manning as referee, James Beard here. How many times I've been in the ring with these guys. And, you know, my ultimate goal was to see if I could either make them laugh or get their pants down. You know, right? And James would kick me. Quit. Leave my pants alone, you know. Never let you get my pants. Never let me get them down, but he will tell you about a drop down high spot. Oh yeah. That he got rode pretty good on. But anyway, it's a pleasure to be here. It's great to see everybody. I hope that I can come back and somewhere down the line make one of you guys a special moment. I see Chris back there. I know that I rode that guy something fierce and hard, but I tell you what, he became one hell of a worker, and it's good that he's been able to carry on the tradition of teaching the young guys. And that's what I say. When you learn something, keep teaching, because it's a dying sport as far as what the old school is all about. Keep up those, all those things that you have built in you. They're all there. Most of all, have fun with what you do. Make sure that when you go out there, you're going out there to entertain. It's not about you. It's about all the people that pay on the ringside seats that come every week and make us who we are today. Thank you, everybody.